We're live. All right. Hey, everybody. It's Jason Blaha here, just sitting here drinking my morning coffee, looking sexy as hell as usual. Double streaming on Facebook, double streaming on YouTube, got everything going. See who all gets in here this early. Wake up. I'm going to do a little bit of other posting while we do all this, while we get all this warmed up and we get people in here, which can take a few minutes. I don't have any topics yet I want to cover. Everything's flowing. I kind of was weirded out though this morning. What's going on, Peppermint? What's up, Lars? So I was kind of like, first woke up a bit ago, I checked my phone, and I'm like, I always check all my social media, and I'm like, there's way more money than it should be in my content monetization on my page, and I'm like trying to figure out, I'm like, did something blow up? And then I realized I hit the weekly bonus, and it put it in at like 2 a.m, and then my total for the day. So it was like, I didn't mean that I wasn't awake. I'm like, well, hold on. It's like running to go check my computer instead of my phone. It was kind of funny. And I'm like, oh, wait, I got the bonus for the week. It rolled over. But yeah, we're still waking up here. I have a couple of calls I've got to do today. I got a client call. So I got at least 2 hours of calls, but we'll get lives in. I'll get posts in. I have like 5 client sheets I need to do. I need to cook a roast. It's going to be an eventful morning. Nothing else planned today. Yesterday I had some company come by for a bit, some guests, but yeah. Today I don't have anything planned other than work and chill, guys. So how's everybody else doing? Peppermint, Lars, how you guys doing this morning? I am not awake, by the way. This is my first cup of coffee. I just now started sipping it. Let me get some Facebook posts going here, guys. But I should have a consultation today and a client call. My consultation guy keeps sliding it down. He's done a few of them. He did a 2-hour one earlier this week, and he's wanting to get another call in because there's like some stuff he needs to cover again. So, all right, I'll do that. But he's had to change it a couple days in a row. Just how it happens. It's interesting. The client call today was a client I thought I had lost. I thought he was not coming back, and he's good. He's locked back in. But, you guys know how that goes. Still waiting on some returns. I have 3 clients who were supposed to come return this month who took hiatuses. Who still haven't come back. When I say hiatuses, I mean more than 6 months at this point. But they're all people who I know are serious about that. I know what they have going on and what's delaying it. Hold on, give me a minute, guys. I got to get some memes up. I don't think I'm going to get that bonus on the profile this month. I shouldn't say that. I need to feed energy into it. Basically, I need the profile to get as much traffic this week as it did the first 3 weeks of the month at this point. And as crazy as that sounds, that does happen sometimes. And I just got to get something to hit just right. All right, speaking of which, let me hop back over to y'all. Just good morning. So fun to Cox hit like so. Posting some dank memes. There we go. Posting dank memes. Exactly. So far, that seems a little bit trolly, but that's okay. So far, you've been okay so far to be used. Like not a new person. It's an older cat. Like, I don't know why you worry about my camera angles on conditioning work and stuff. Like, I've never actually thought about it. The dude asked me, I saw that this morning. Why do you only film your med ball throws from one angle or facing the camera? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Yeah, that's what we want. No, I don't even give second warning. So, and I know this is going to be Les Capel votes, but I have to train that one guy, and he's not allowed to post without giving a super chat. So the new guy who makes the new things every day, why you do a spin? Oh, I don't know. I'm so used to training on camera that if I do each one that way, it's just my automatic way of doing it. Keep in mind, I've been filming all my training for so many years. Everything, like every work set we haven't missed a work set on camera in like 6 years. I haven't done a set of curls not on camera in like 6 years, just for context. So I'm so used to having a camera rolling that I just do it by default with the throws. Like it's not a conscious thing. Makes sense? It's just like a default setting. Turn, face the camera. On each one, pick it up, turn, face the camera. Like it's a natural. Like for me to not do it, I would have to consciously stop myself from doing it. Just due to ingrained habits. Always aware of the camera. I mean, obviously we drown that out when we're doing a really heavy set because we just set the camera and we're locked into the rack. Heavy squats or heavy deadlifts, we don't care. But sometimes I do. I talk to the camera. Sometimes after a really crazy heavy deadlift, I turn and talk to the camera for a minute as I'm walking back to it. You've seen me do a few times. And before, like I did a 615 pull and it felt really light. So, I turned and looked at the camera while I was holding it at the top and I said, easy as F. And then nodded my head and then set it back down on the ground. I mean, I do stuff like that. I got to pin that comment. Yeah, but all the counts. But the other guy, Peppermint, I don't give any warning. Well, the camera doesn't talk. Sometimes, I mean, considering that we have apps, like I don't want to say the name, but it starts with an S. If I were to say that out loud, the camera would talk back because all my filming is done on my smartphones. Like, my regular main iPhone. And then I usually film on this one. All right. I used to use GoPros and camcorders and all that. I don't anymore. I just use my smartphones for everything now. Such a crazy invention. Keep in mind my age. So to me, a smartphone is kind of a crazy thing. How many different things we do with this supercomputer we carry in our pocket. All right. Because when I first started training, the idea that you could even film your workouts was insane. Like no one had ever heard of that. No one had cameras like that. Like, we didn't have portable cameras. You were very reliant upon the help of other lifters and coaches and people to look at what you were doing, in person. Especially big lifts that you need to get right. You needed other lifters to be watching. People don't even realize that hardly any lift got filmed by the general population. Yeah. And today I tell everyone to film all your lifts, but we didn't film lifts. We didn't have the means. Like, dude, you had to be rich. Like an average middle-class person didn't have the means to be filming their workouts. And what would they do with it? Yeah, lifts were verified by word of mouth. Yep. I mean, where would you have even put it? I mean, I guess your hard drives. we didn't have the same information storage online that we have access to now. You just saw the thumbnail. Oh, you just saw it. I put that one. It's from my photo shoot back in January. The photo shoot that I did for some stuff. Now I made money on all those, putting them up social media. So a friend of mine wanted to do a photo shoot. And so she broke out the phone and had me, do a bunch of photo shoot in blue jeans. That was photographed by a woman. No, it was photographed by a woman. I got like 30 or 40 pictures from that set. No, it's called a photo shoot. But I thought it'd be funny to put that one in the thumbnail. It gets attention sometimes. And no, that's not edited. That's just good angles. So that got asked a lot, and that person laughed. She was like really flattered that they thought that, we had edited anything, because she's like, wow, I'm just that good with camera angles. So that whole bunch of those, the ones that were good angles, when I put them up, people thought they were photoshopped. And there's no filters, nothing. She's just really, really good at camera angles. Like, I can't find those angles myself. So that photo shoot turned out really good, because somebody who actually kind of has a good eye for it did the angles that I don't. Right? I don't. No, the photo shoot took us 20 minutes, man. She's busted out one of my phones, like literally that whole photo shoot, and I still have it all on here. It was just done on this phone, the same phone I filmed my lifting on. She grabbed my phone and just did all the photos. But she had a really good eye for angles. She does some photography stuff for fun. What's a farmer's walk? Farmer's walks. So it's usually any sort of loaded carry where you're holding something in each hand. So like you think about farmers carrying buckets. Farmer's walk is a exercise where it's like that. So farmer's walks handles, right? So when you go buy handles and stuff for that, they're called farmer's walks handles. If it's at a strongman event, it's called the farmer's walk. Is an event with the carry handles, right? I mean, farmer's walks are a competitive lift now. Like, they do it at the World's Strongest Man. Eddie Hall, all those guys. It's a contested movement. Carrying your grocery baskets. So there you go. So people say, what's the world application, man? Getting good at farmer's walks will help you carry all the groceries in with one trip. That's just kind of important as a man, right? It's important as a man to be able to carry all the groceries in, especially if your woman's watching, dude. Like, if your girl's watching you, bro, you better get all that stuff in one trip, man. That's important. She's got to know. She's got to know that you're strong and capable. Just saying, guys. You can't let stuff like that slip. All these dudes over here worried about they can't meet girls. Like, what? That's the easy part. Like, you guys are worried about the wrong stuff. You need to be worried about making sure that once you have a girl, she sees you carry all the groceries in one trip. If it's possible, the logistics might not allow for it. You know what I mean? When she sees that you got that extra bag in each hand, right? She's going to notice. Like, this is important stuff. This is important. This is the important stuff that you guys miss. Dudes over here worried about they can't talk to a girl. I don't know, man. Quit being a big floppy pussy. Like, this should not be the problem. We shouldn't be at this level. The problem needs to be the other stuff, She needs to see you carry all the groceries in. Exactly. President said your woman's going to notice, bro. There's not enough of you hitting like. There's like 6 people commenting and 3 likes. We're about to start banning people. There we go. The likes doubled while I was out. Thing happening on Facebook. So the dank memes. So people mean, but what do you mean by you post dank memes? So here you've ever met. Here's a dank meme. So this is going to be posted to 30 groups. I've cross-posted it to 20 groups already, but it's on my profile now. These are the dank memes I make. So people don't understand. That's a classic dank meme by Coach Blaha right there. Dank memes melt steel beams. And no, you can't message my profile unless you're on the friends list. It's blocked. You have to be on my friends list to DM it. So don't send your applications there for coaching. Send it to the fitness page that is linked underneath all my videos. Yeah. Remember that though, guys. Dank memes melt steel beams. Nice one. There we go. It's the first meme of the day. I did all jokes yesterday. I'll do all pictures today. And be like that, right? Exactly. Challenge accepted. Oh, man. You could also do one about tax returns or something like that too. That same meme works for a tax return meme. You know, sort of stuff we buy when people get a tax refund. Hippopotamus coffee table. Men also be like that. That's its own separate issue. That whole tax return con that the normal people with 9 to 5s who are not self-employed get. I mean, talk about a psyop. If you want to use that term, there's a psyop. Let's condition people and make companies take taxes out every paycheck so that people get a refund at the end of the year. And they associate tax season with getting money. Wow. You overpaid, and so they have it set up intentionally. So that if you hit the deductions right, you get a small amount of your money back. We're supposed to be grateful to the thief returning part of your own money. So it's like a thief steals $10,000 from you and says, you know what, I'm going to give you $1,000 back. And you get so conditioned to it, you just get excited about it. That's what has happened. And what's hilarious to me is the number of people who justify it, man, who they talk about the slave mindset. But how would we have roads and whatever without it? It's like, so why don't you just take out the amount of money you need for the roads? That would be the solution. Like if someone says that, well, how would we pay for X, Y, or Z? Then take out the amount of money for X, Y, and Z and give you back the other 90%. I mean, I feel like these people don't understand that the majority of their tax money isn't going to roads. No, you don't need to pay $20,000 in taxes in a year for the roads. Bro, they used $15 of that for the roads. Just stop. Slave mindset right there. Yeah. Oh, man. The people who major on those things miss the important things like this, right? They're kind of missing the point. Really, do you think that's where all your money goes? Good point, Coach. You shouldn't even be paying for the roads at the moment since you're not. And that's a valid point too, EJ. No, I mean, I still travel on the roads. My food comes to me on roads. I go get in vehicles. Like, I'm just not currently driving now. For now. But I'm not going to tell you guys when that changes. Nobody's business when I buy the next car. Nobody's business. But I mean, that would be the point. It's like, what am I getting back for my money? Like, what am I getting for my money? What is in it for me? We're going to argue on they're taking it to pay for a service. Well, what service am I getting? Why are we voting for parties that squander our money? Because both parties are guilty, right? We have a big government party and a slightly bigger government party right now. That's our two choices. That's our two choices. Really, it's an ideological conflict about how they're going to spend our stolen money. You know, and I'm for democracy and voting. I'm just saying, guys, these are currently what's up there. The other problem is our deficit is so large, we might have to have a revolution just to get rid of it. And I mean from a legal sense. Like, we could almost make the ideological argument, and they fail to balance the budget. We could make an ideological argument for a revolution purely to reset the balance. We could make a justification for that argument philosophically at this time. Like, why should we rebel? Well, because they've run up such a large debt. Ober, we're going to give. Let me make sure you didn't make this account today. Hold on. If it's a new account, we don't even discuss it. Nope, it's an old account. So Uber Goofenhoff is up for a kapow vote, guys. I want to leave some democracy because we get rid of the new guys without answering. We don't ever answer a new account. We just ban first day. All right. Uber Gump is up for a kapow vote. Kapow or stay. I was going to auto kapow, but I'm going to put this up to democracy. Stampede gives a kapow. Peppermint. EJ, you guys kapowing? Anybody giving him a stay? Stay if he deletes his comment. So this is up in the air. We're going to give him till the end of the vote. Anybody else? Oh, you're neutral in these because this matters, because that's a tie. That creates a tie if it's a stay. I'll give him about 10 seconds. All right. But he hasn't deleted his comment. Trindle. All right. You have been voted by a jury of your peers of being guilty of being a weird, mentally retarded person who follows a mentally retarded person for fun, making insults based upon your own mental retardation. So the sentence for this is death. You have been found guilty. And kapow! And you're out of here. I'm going to bring back the word retard. It's a perfectly good word that has fallen out of popular use for political correct reasons, and we need to bring it back. All right. Like, why have we gotten rid of this amazingly good word? Why can't we call people retards anymore? Because that's a textbook example of someone being a retard. We need to use it. It's a good word. That's all I'm saying, guys. I'm going to bring it back. Get myself canceled for that. Uber's over here to say, I'm about to do it. I can't hold myself back. Peppermint, I'm going to do it, bro. Uber over here. Pow! You're out of here. Damn, I went there. I don't even feel bad about it. All right, I'm going to get some more coffee. I think we just found my next thing. Jason Blaha can get famous for that now, for all my haters and trolls talking to them in a retard voice and imitating them back. Like, type that back to them. Whatever nonsense they say before we ban them. Get out of here. We don't allow retards. Retard free zone. Out. Coach, what are your best comp lifts? You can already see that. I could break them right now. Because I've always had bad times going on every time I get to a meet with my bench sucks. I can break all my meet benches right now. I could walk in today. Open powerlifting. I couldn't beat my squat at this moment. I would need probably several weeks. I might need longer. I could definitely beat my bench. I could walk in at a lighter body weight, older age, and beat my bench. Like my last meet, I got an elite total. I took state records, but because my shoulder was all jacked up, I had to close grip that day. I ended up only benching 140 kg. That's it. But I still got an elite total. I literally only had 140 kg bench that day. It was close grip. But I did get 3 state records that day, just not the bench. But my total was still elite. It qualified me for nationals several years in a row. And I failed the 619 deadlift with that meet. And on camera, everyone. So if you can see the footage, like footage is all up here. Even with that last one, because my 20 kilo one before was a state record. Right. And it was super light. Like I just set it down. It looked like a warm up. I just RDL'd it down and set it on the ground gently. And I went up another 20 kilos and I couldn't lock it, which sucks because if you watch the footage, so the 619, which is 280 kg, it blew off the floor. It looked like a warm up the first 10 inches. You just jerked right off the floor. And then I just couldn't lock it. I got it to my knee and it just stopped. And I didn't have anything left. Like I couldn't even grind it. It was one of those where that's it. My body was done for the day. My nervous system said, we are done. Like I couldn't even grind it. It just exploded and just stopped and I just had to set it back down. Like I couldn't even grind. It was that point where my body's just like, we're done. You got to squat and a deadlift state record. Because I made a big jump. I just wanted the record, and then I made a big jump to a lift that I was 80% sure I could get. I already had the record for the day. I went up 20 kilograms. Missed it, which sucks. Because in an unofficial contest, I've done more. So that charity meet, which they were certified judges there, like USPA judges and stuff were judging it, but it was an unsanctioned meet. It's on film though, because it was a charity event. and I'm not in official equipment. I'm wearing a costume. So that's something you have to remember too. Like, it doesn't matter what's happening. If you're not in a proper powerlifting singlet, your lifts don't count. I was in a 300 costume. So that alone disqualifies a lift. Right? It can't count towards anything official. But it was for a good cause. Yeah. Raising money for breast cancer. Save the tatas, bros. Something I think every man could get behind. Notice you finish first at every event, bar one, right? Well, I don't think people understand, because people don't go to powerlifting meets, Peppermint. They'll see someone online who is an elite lifter, classified as an elite lifter, and go, well, they suck, they're weak. Because they're so used to seeing this hundreds crazy, strong, insane people. They don't understand the gap between being the top 1% in the sport, right? It's like looking at the mid-tier NFL teams who are professionals with $1 million contracts and saying, wow, they really suck compared to the guys who won the Super Bowl. You know, so people, they don't grasp that. Like, that came up when I did that one meet, or like whatever, 12, 13 years ago. I came in and I did one. I walked in, squatted, whatever, 485, and it qualified me for world championship. And all these people, haters, and even Steve Shaw came in. Steve Shaw got on my Facebook, and people were arguing that. And he's like, sorry, guys, those are the standards of our sport. Yes, his squat and his lifts were good enough to qualify for world championship. He is a world level lifter. Whether you agree with those standards, the federations do not. These people don't really know about the world. So these are people who don't go to powerlifting meets. They have no concept of what people lift. They really don't understand how rare a 500-pound squat is. They're completely oblivious to that fact. You would think they would know, because if they lift weights, they go to a gym, right? And you ask them, how many people have you seen squat five plates to depth in your entire life in person? They're like, well, 0. That's representative. There it is, channel. Marsh, you didn't make the account today. Andy, I will answer your question. Andy, Arnold's my favorite bodybuilder. They don't lift hard. The one I found says 496 squat, and I'm in the wrong one. No, that's me. That was a state record. Jacob, that was a Texas state record, that 496. Yep. I have a record certificate for that from the USPA for the state of Texas. So again, that meet qualified me for nationals and worlds. Also, that is, and it's listed as an elite total still, according to the USPA. But people are so used to seeing Larry Wheels, but a different Jacob body weight and age. Look at my body weight in that meet. You've seen me do 605, weighing over 240, younger than that, younger age class, my full age class. I was bulked up into the 240s when I did that. And it was too high. It wouldn't pass in competition. USPA is super strict on depth. That 605 you saw me do was about 4 inches above meet legal, 3 to 4 inches high. It wouldn't pass. And I was walking around at like 245. Like, no, dude, that's not going to cut it. So Whereas in that 496 is a Texas state record for a master's record. So understand the difference. But I think that's the problem. People are so used to watching Larry Wheels and not going to powerlifting meets, they're oblivious. What do you mean? It should show it. It absolutely shows my weigh-in and everything on there. I mean, I can show you the award certificate. I have to. I don't have. Well, it won't let me put pictures in here, will it? So I weighted at 217. So it's the 220 weight class, Masters 2 age class. Right? Masters 2. So I'm like 46 years old in that one, or 45. Yeah, I think I'm 46. So I'm 46 years old and weighed 217 that day. And it was a Texas state record. I got gold medals and everything for that one. I got an award certificate. But again, people don't understand strength form. They're so busy watching Larry Wheels, who's been using 3 grams of gear since he was 16 and is a genetic freak. They're so used to seeing that they don't have any idea what happens at real meets. So for perspective, no, it's already been broken. All my records have been broken. I've got to redo them. Every single record I've set has been broken by someone else. Welcome to powerlifting. All right. Well, we have no clue because Larry is a hyper responder to drugs. He started using heavy doses at 16. And I mean, I'm talking scary high doses. But you don't know that for a fact, Trendle. Just be aware. You don't know how strong he would have been drug-free. He is a genetic freak, though. Freak genetics using huge amounts of drugs from high school. Like, he's going to have freakish strength. But I think people see that and they don't realize, like, I have gone to a powerlifting meet and observed a friend of mine was at. Okay. Let me put it in perspective. I have gone to a powerlifting meet a friend of mine was at, and it had 100 lifters. 100 lifters. Out of 100 lifters, over 100 men, then there were women. Because it was a regional drug tested meet. How many guys there do you think hit a raw squat, like no squat suit? How many guys do you think at that whole meet hit a 500 or higher squat? Give me an estimate. Regional IPF meet with drug testing that day. With 100 men. How many guys hit a 500-pound squat that day? Jacob's guessing 12. Whoa. You got to be trolling me. 3, 37. That's your guesses. 6, 5, 0. 0. Not one man hit a 500-pound squat the entire day at the competition. 0. In any weight class. Who is a drug tested meet? They were piss testing that day. Come on. It was a regional. It was a regional with a urine tester there. Like 12, 37. Oh Lord. So do you have a better context for powerlifting? And there were rivalries. There were dudes fighting for those medals. Like there were dudes who, I'm going to beat this guy. He's like my rival. And that's how people see it. So now do you have a better idea of what a powerlifting meet? I mean, I would have expected a handful that day. But I was watching, like the only guy to do it had a single ply suit on. So their equipped division was the only guys who hit 500. There was nobody raw in knee sleeves. Nobody in just sleeves and a belt was hitting numbers like that. There were some decent benches though. Like my friend actually had a 170 kilo bench, but he couldn't squat 5 plates. He had like a 200 kilogram squat. I don't remember. I didn't watch. I just remembered the squats. There were some. He was a good deadlifter actually, but in terms of the squats, for example, I want to say he was a high 500s deadlifter himself. He was probably a 260 kilogram, 270 deadlifter, but he was in a heavier weight class. He was like 6'2", kind of a lanky guy. But that's what people have to remember. And he was actually drug-free. But I don't think people understand, and he considered himself a really serious powerlifter. Like he really identified it was a big part of his lifestyle. All right. He was hit a 226 kilogram deadlift under 85 kg. There you go. That's a worthy goal. So people don't understand this. When we talk about even powerlifting, and people are like, well, powerlifting is dangerous. Like, not without drugs or doing crazy stuff. No, it really isn't. People are not lifting these freakish weights that these outliers you see lift. Like, this is not stuff you're going to go see every day at competitions. So people have lost sight of that. All right. They've lost sight of that. And the thing is, and the people who aren't part of that community and world don't understand. Like I've literally seen people, wow, how can they think that they're serious? Like you'll see haters online, they'll say that. And I'm like, but yet when you meet a lot of these people, powerlifting is really important to them. It's an important part of their identity in life, even though those are their lifts. Okay. Hey, Stamp, but do you know how rare that is? So put into perspective your point. So there's a guy at your gym who benches 220 kg, juice to the gills. Okay. Do you know genetically that's impossible for most guys? Did you know the average guy genetically cannot juice to the gills and reach that? He just simply can't. He could take drugs until his eyeballs turn yellow and never get anywhere near that, even with good coaching. So you have to be a genetic aberration to bench 220 kilograms, even on drugs. Like you're a genetic outlier. Andy, I said Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, how are you confusing Larry? Larry's a piece of shit. As a human being, Larry's a horrible person. He scammed people out of money. He's got a lawsuit going. He's been accused of domestic violence. He admitted he spent tens of thousands of dollars jerking off to OnlyFans girls, and then he's stealing money from people. His ex-girlfriend said he beat her. Like, why would I like this guy? He abused massive amounts of drugs from age 16. He does showboat stuff that gets people hurt and shows off doing goofball idiot lifts at the gym. So why do people put these people up on pedestals? That's why I'm always like, why do people come at me so hard? I don't have public accusations of domestic violence. I don't have anybody claiming I stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from them. Oh, I didn't say that Arnold was a good person. I don't like Larry Wheels as a person. Like I don't see, just because someone is crazy strong doesn't mean that you should be a fan of them. So I don't care about the Olympia. Yes, who's my favorite bodybuilder? So why is Arnold my favorite bodybuilder? Because I loved his movies as a kid. Right. So Jacob, I don't have a problem with that. All right. I'm a coach and a competitor. You win. Let me be clear, Jacob. If you are a competitor, you win. That's it. That is the only rule. You win. So yes, I got a problem with that, Jacob. But did he hurt anybody with that? Larry Wheels is literally personal accusations of stuff. Again, pending lawsuit where he scammed large amounts of money from a friend. That's pending litigation right now. Ex-girlfriend's talking about how he beat her. So, I mean, words versus harm. This is what people cannot seem to get through their head, which I've noticed on the internet. People can't separate saying something you don't like with beating a woman. They can't separate the level of difference between this person says something I don't like versus they stole $100,000 from somebody. Why do people on the internet struggle with these morality differences? Like, why do these things get, and it's not just you, Jacob, it's everybody. Why do these things get lumped into the same category on the internet? That saying something you don't like is somehow put anywhere near actually harming, stealing, right? No, I'm not saying you, but I mean, meaning in general. Jacob, step back and look at the general topic. Look at how people behave on the internet towards individuals, right? But you said that now, but just pointing that out. But let's set that aside. Let's set that aside. So let's come over to the other initial point. So, and you're saying it now, and that's great. But what was your initial knee-jerk response? And this is a question I'm asking for people to step back and ask themselves. Why do we, when it comes to the internet, do that? Hey, this person murdered 7 children. Yeah, but this guy said something I don't like. You see what I mean? Like, why do we do that? Like, why do we make that jump? That comparison? Because it's not just you, Jacob. It's people in general once they get on the internet. I'm not singling you out. So, brother, I'm not singling you out. I'm just saying as an example. But think about that was your knee-jerk initial reaction. Then once you thought about it, you're like, oh yeah, Larry's clearly worse, right? You're like, it made sense. But why do we do that? We as a society have started knee-jerk equating saying something we don't like with actual harmful acts as a comparison. And I agree, Arnold was out of line for that. But Arnold's also not an American. What do I expect? Cultural bias there. Well, Arnold does not maybe come from the same sort of cultural background. But he lost a lot of fans here. Dude, a lot of people turned on Arnold for that in the US. A lot of people did. And he was definitely out of line. But you're talking governing versus those words. But you see my point? Jacob, none of that got brought up. So why do we do that as a society? He wasn't governor when he did that. So, and that's always the point. Let's jump to the hard hitting stuff. Hey man, he killed 17 babies as governor. That would, I'm not saying he did, but you see what I mean. That's the jump we would make. But we do that. We do that as people. So, but think about the example I'm using here, and it's just something to think about because people do it as a collective. Again, Jacob, I'm not singling you out. So I don't want you to think I'm grilling you here. I'm not. I'm simply saying you simply did what tons of people do. It's a normal response these days. Why do we do that though? That's a new phenomenon. That's a newer cultural phenomenon to where we do that. That wasn't the way people were in the past. Something I've observed in my lifetime. So yeah. And we tend to do it. We literally will say, because someone said something we don't like, we start placing them into this bad person category. It's like, well, hey, all they did was say something. All they did was express an unpopular opinion or a popular opinion that we disagreed with. Oh. So do you want me to explain why he's my favorite? Because I loved his movies as a kid. That's it. I could care less about the bodybuilding part. Dude, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, the action hero. Okay. So my childhood. Right. Yeah, he's Commando. He's Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer. He's Dutch from Predator. Yeah. I don't know, man. Imagine me as president instead of Trump. People don't like stuff Trump says. I'm up here calling people retards. I would just do that. Man, you put me up on presidential platform and I have some journalist messing me, I'm gonna be like, you a retard, shut up. Done. I don't care. I'm bringing retard back. I'm gonna start talking to all my haters like that. I'm gonna make it a thing. I hope people get angry and make hate videos about it. How dare he use that word? We're gonna bring it back. It's a great word. Haters gonna come through. I'm gonna talk to them in the retard voice and quote them back. Yeah, Alec Baldwin's in a movie, so that's all right. But everything aside, and there we go. So then all of a sudden, I'm a horrible, evil person because I've used the word retard and I make fun of my haters and people who say stupid stuff to me. There you go. Horrible person. But I'll also save a group of puppies from a burning building put in the situation to do so. Just throwing it out there. Right. People forget stuff that's happened behind the scenes. Remember the GH15 thing? Where they raised money for a legal, because they hated Lane Norton when he tried to sue me. They raised money for a legal defense and sent it to me. And then I said, look, I'm not going to be able to do this. It's nowhere near enough money. I need 50 times this. And it was thousands of dollars. And I gave it back. And it all went to a dog shelter, by the way. They documented that on their forum. Like, they showed the screenshots that I returned the money and it was donated to a dog shelter. You know, I could have gotten away. They couldn't have legally forced me to give that money back. It was done through PayPal. I sent it all back. So there you go. Push come to shove, and because we said, okay, what are you guys going to do with it? They agreed a dog shelter, and I returned the money. And it all got documented on the GH15 forum. I'll go back and agree with your sentiment, though. People on the internet do have a knee-jerk reaction, especially when they see a video out of context, right? So at the end of the day, man, you know, I do have a soft spot. Coach can be, I can be a major dick. Like, I know that. Believe me, I know. My mouth has no filter. So that's what I'm known for, again, with my bros. They're like, dude, Jason's a dick. Like, but, you know, he'll help you. Like, if you're really struggling, Jason will be the dude who's there to show up. You know, Lars, we had cats on the actual channel. If you remember, in the UK, I videoed the rescue cats my ex-wife and I got. So we fostered 3 cats, and then she still kept them after the divorce. Now we fostered 3 cats. We did 2 of them, and then we did the third one separate. We had to make sure he would fit in. So we had Khaleesi, we had Aries, and we had Jack. There's videos of them on the channel. And we had the squirrel fiasco, to where we got a baby squirrel in the house, and I trapped it and had it in a cage, and the cats are trying to get to it while I'm trying to get the wildlife people to come pick it up. They did. They came and got it. But squirrel dropped down the chimney, a baby squirrel. And we tried to put it outside the first time, and the next day it was down the chimney again. Like, so that didn't work. So we had to have rescue people come get it, because those cats would have ate it. They wanted that squirrel so bad. Man. So yeah, the baby squirrel is all there on camera. It's all on the channel, dude. This is all stuff still here. Still on the channel. Yeah, I know we had rescue cats. But we originally just fostered them, like, to see how it would work out. So they started as foster cats. You go get one, man. Just go get a giant mug, bro. If you drink as much coffee as I do, you got to have the, right? You got to have them tiny wimpy mugs. But no, so I mean, we did that for the dog charity, and you know, I got a soft spot for stuff like that. You know, Coach got a soft spot for things like stray dogs and kids with cancer. You know, how much do I work per week? My work day is 12 hours a day, and then I unwind. How about we not stir up controversial topics of my thoughts on Islam? Like, I don't have a problem with Muslims, so let me be clear with that. But I'm obviously not interested in converting. I'm a Christian. So my average work day is 12 hours. And I shut it off at 12 hours. So if we count all the live streams, because live streams, I'm working, I'm posting, I'm chatting with clients, I'm closing stuff in here. And this is all monetized. So technically it is all work, work, work. So yeah, I have a 12-hour work day every day. The joys of self-employment until some stuff shifts in the economy. It's going to continue. Speaking of, let me get some more memes up. Got to get those dank memes up. Yeah, I don't think the profile is going to get the bonus. It might. I don't want to say that. I need to put energy into it and say I'm going to get that bonus. I got the weekly one already on my fitness page. But my memes, man, are just, they're not making the money this month. So yes, that's business too. Making memes is technically work day. More of my fitness stuff does way better though. Like, so my more polarizing social criticisms are actually doing the best on the fitness page. People enjoy that a lot more. All right. You make time, right? You make time. My friends, I've never made bullets. I mean, yeah, I've made significant sums of money off memes. The most money I've ever made off of a single meme. I mean, he is right. Technically, it's a side business. I mean, coach is my primary job, but memes are a side. But to be fair, my record, I have made $1,000 off of a single meme one time. Just so that we are clear. That's been a while. None of it's doing like that right now. My Chick-fil-A side chick meme, it went super, super, super viral. Like that meme actually made like 1,200. It's not easy for me to link because it's so buried. I know right where it's at. But essentially it's the meme, and it went everywhere. Like, this is almost 3 years ago. It got like 1 million likes. So I can describe the meme. So it's one of the ones where the guy is sitting there like at the baseball game, and he puts his hand around the girl's neck, and he's like leaning in to talk to her. And it was the whole Chick-fil-A side chick business idea. So having a chicken truck on Sundays out in the Chick-fil-A parking lot and call it side chick as a business idea. So I'm basically describing the meme. I'd have to pull up the exact way I made it. But that one made, around $1,200 when I posted it, and it went everywhere. It went everywhere. People were resharing it for money. I've reposted it and it doesn't hit like that again. So that one made that sort of money. Yeah. I mean, my page alone, it got 1 million likes. And that alone gave it like $1,200 just on my page in direct ad revenue. Yeah. So just for context. Now my social commentary stuff still does pretty good right now. So here's some of my social commentary, which is now on my other thing. This is an example. This is one I did last night. That's not okay. I mean, that one's made money. It doesn't make a lot. No, I don't game. So for me to have gaming related income stream, I would have to game. I don't video game at all. I think video game is a complete loser activity at this point. It destroys your productivity. And I know historically, I can look back at any time I gamed, I made less money and got less pussy. There's a direct correlation between video gaming time, an inverse correlation between video gaming time and income and pussy. There's a direct relationship. No, I don't do anything like that before I squat. I stretch out my shoulders. Hey, Jacob, that's an automatic ban. Offense. How old is your account? I'm going to let you delete your own comment because you have an old account. That's a ban offense. Like, we don't discuss straight up troll topic. I do ask if he was a Fed. Right. But I'm going to leave it. I don't know. Here, I'll delete your comment for you. Yeah. And, well, no, that wasn't Jacob. That was someone else with the dumb Islam question. You're mixing people up. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Jacob was the one who asked that. Essentially, any topic you see in a hater video that a dozen videos have been made about that you don't see directly on my channel, probably going to get you banned. Just an FYI. Like if you get a piece of material from a hate video, that's your source of the information, it's probably not going to be a topic that's going to fly. And okay, now Andy asking why'd you get butt hurt? Then I just explained it. So Andy, someone's put you up for a vote. Who put you up? David did ask for you to get a Kapow vote. Andy, you getting trolly, that's for sure. Hey Alpha, I'm getting kind of tired of you promoting beta shit every time you come in here, bro. I'm just gonna give you a warning. Like, you sure promote a whole lot of beta male nonsense every time you come through. Just throwing that out there. You have a repeat habit of this for the last day. This is maybe not the right place for you. So you need to work on it, man. You need to work on it. But David has called for a vote on Andy. So let's see if we initiate a vote, because one person voting is not going to be enough. But yeah, we've had the other stuff asking me about Islam, asking me about all this stuff, trying to stir up controversy. I don't know, man. So, but David's put him up for Kapow. David's the channel member. Does anybody want to second it? If nobody seconds it, we're not voting him on. But you've been put up for a vote, Andy. Alpha, is that a vote? I don't see a vote. You sound like you're implying a vote. I'm gonna get tired of holding my arms up waiting for you guys. So we have 2 Kapows and he stays. Basically, paying the members don't like your attitude, Andy, in general. and they're paying channel members, guys like David. So, one stay, 2 kapows. Anybody else? That's a kapow. Kapow, you're out of here. All right, gave you guys plenty of time to vote. Well, it's kind of, you guys can't be waiting 20 seconds, man. Bro, I held my hands up for a long time. Like, I was getting tired of holding my arms up. So if you guys want to stay, y'all got to vote quick, man. Feels good. Right. There we go. Kapow. Oh, Lord. I got to cook a roast today. You guys want to see the roast I'm going to cook? You guys want to see the roast I'm going to cook? I'm not going to go get it if you guys don't want to actually see it. I need to take a picture, put it up, make $1. Because I got to walk all the way to the fridge to get it out. I'm going to cook a roast here later. What the F is a tofu roast? Shows the protein codes. All right. I grabbed a couple of these. This is the smaller one. So this is just barely over 1 kilogram. But here's my vegan tofu roast that I'm going to cook and eat here later today, this morning. Yes, thank you. Oh, man. Actually, I'm going to be right back. I need to get coffee, guys. I'll be back. All right, we're back. We're back. Of course, nothing like using a fresh, clean toilet. All right, it's funny because I had guests come through yesterday for a short bit. I had to clean the guest bathroom. It's all clean. That's important. Remember that, guys. Even when you have a bachelor pad, type place. Alpha, you just pushing. I don't consume refined sugar. I don't own refined sugar. I don't have it in my house. I don't advocate for junk food. Come on, man. I fast in the morning. It's all black coffee. I don't have any calories before noon. After eating that kosher, I don't know about that. I don't consume refined sugar, dude. It's just literally coffee. So you clearly don't know my dietary approach. I eat all clean and I fast in the morning. So I train fasted. This is how I keep myself under 300 pounds body weight with my appetite. So it's nothing but black coffee in the mornings. All my training is fasted and I eat no junk food. This is how I stay under 300 pounds. If someone who has previously been over 300 is a fat guy. It's my strategy. Right. You know, that way I don't usually go over like 4,000 calories or something. So yeah, I find it better than tracking. I don't track calories these days. Is it easier? Well, it's not so much that it's easier, it's that you're predisposed to it. So meaning it's not so much the fact that you've previously been there, because it's not harder the first time. So let me be clear, Alpha Destiny Rack Pool. It's not actually easier to get fat a second time once you've lost it at all. It was easier the first time, honestly, because I got fat again when I was sick for a while. Not easier. It's that you're predisposed to it. All right. You're predisposed to it. The average person says, I don't see how they can get to 300 pounds exactly. To me, all I have to do to get to 300 pounds is to eat normal junk food and to not track anything and not work out. If I just ate like a normal American and didn't care about what I ate and only ate until I was full, every time I'm hungry, if I simply ate, that's all I have to do to be 300 pounds. That's it. I could be there in 3 or 4 months, 6 months. Right? Just don't work out and just eat normal food. Eat every time I get hungry until I'm full. Right? Could you coach a 600-pound person? I mean, in theory, I could. Hold on, let me get to this Jacob's question about SARMs. Thoughts on SARMs? Okay, you're not a new channel. I'm good. So Jacob wants to know about SARMs. I think SARMs are ridiculous. They're ridiculous. There's no point. They've been popularized by children on the internet. I don't know, that's not a popular opinion, but look, everyone who promotes them makes money off of them. Ultimately, due to their quasi-legal status, it's made them popular with kids, SARM goblins. In short, they cost more than steroids, have the same side effects as steroids, milligram per milligram, and they give less results. So more expensive steroids with less results. Doesn't make any sense. Just use steroids at that point. They're objectively better than most SARMs through those metrics. And SARMs have never been FDA approved, hence the SARM. They've not been tested long-term in humans, and the FDA found them to be acceptable. That's a problem. Adam asked me on Facebook, you still doing the same training style? I don't really understand the question. I type it because he might not hear it. Don't dox me, bro, says Jason. I've been watching you off and on for 15-ish years. You're aging great, my man. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, man. You laugh. The compliments I get from the non-lifting culture, like people on my Facebook, it's always fascinating. You know, the way the lifting world acts towards me versus the average person. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. This should tell guys everything they need to know. Like dudes who are obsessed in the lifting world, when you look at the number of women who compliment my physique on Facebook over time. I posted one of that in a stream before of all the compliments. These are like, there's like 50 women complimenting his body in that post. Yeah. Versus the Instagram bodybuilding bros ideas of physique. This should tell you everything you need to know. The fitness world has turned into this very strange subculture that has lost sight of what a good physique even is. Right. I bought a classic Honda CB750. Is that a motorcycle? I get compliments too. Right. On Insta, if you're not 228% body fat, you don't lift. To be fair, on Instagram, they also, a lot of those guys are really small. They're just shredded. No, Jacob, you missed the mark. There are plenty of guys way smaller than me who get massive bona fides on Instagram, actually. When you realize some of their body weights, they're 160 pounds, 170. My DEXA scans show that I have more lean tissue than they have body weight. I'm way bigger. But it's that shredded to the bone that all these dudes think that you're supposed to get. And it's like women don't actually like that. And that's what guys don't grasp. So the lighting and the pumpers, yeah, absolutely. But you need to understand that. The guys have lost sight of this in the fitness world. Women don't like that. Okay. But when you say that, people are like, you're saying women don't like abs. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying once you get abs, you probably don't need to lose another 37 pounds. Right? Once you have abs, because a lot of women do like abs, absolutely. You don't need to cut another 37 pounds and dehydrate yourself to get women. They don't like it. They find it unattractive. Dudes are literally going to these extremes to make women like them less. Dudes are starving themselves. Dudes are using stimulants and appetite suppressing drugs literally to make themselves less attractive to women. To take a body that women might have liked and to go out of their way to make it unattractive. And they don't seem to grasp that. It's fascinating. Adam asks, is everything okay with you and Cassidy Campbell? I have no idea. What do you mean is okay? Adam, I don't understand that question either. Cassidy is a troll who came at me and started fights years ago and showed up doing weird stuff at my gym. That's the whole thing. There is nothing else. Like, I've never met Cassidy. We've never been friends. To me, he's just always been a weirdo on the internet who was kind of obsessed with me. I simply replied and posted because of that screenshot, because I saw him down at whatever 140 pounds or whatever he's at. I haven't seen anything from Cassidy in years. That came through my feed randomly, and I commented and then screenshotted it and then put it up. So that's it. That's been my only engagement with Cassidy right there. That's the whole thing. You saw the entire thing this week. That's it. Everything else was him being a weird, creepy dude with a camera showing up at my gym, bringing me up and weird stuff. Like, that's it. He's just a weirdo. Dude's a weirdo. That's pretty much all of it, man. But yeah, back over to that point, and I think dudes forget that. Yeah, his stuff is cringe as hell. Right. The whole white boy character, the rich character. I mean, come on, dude. It's just ridiculous. Cringy as hell, man. The dude's just weird. He's a weirdo. But I think people saw Ziz, and for some reason, all these guys hung on to the whole Ziz era of seeing Ziz with all these girls, and what they didn't understand, they're thinking it's because Ziz got a certain physique. But by today's standards, Ziz didn't even have. So all these guys, by Instagram standards, Ziz didn't even have a good physique now. By the standards you're putting out today, he didn't. They would be like, well, he's mid at best, right? But the thing that they're missing, they saw Ziz with all these girls, right? Do we understand what happened? Do you not understand the social context? Did you guys not listen to what him and his bros talked about back then? And look at the culture. Did Ziz get girls just because he was in shape? Or was he an outgoing extrovert? Okay, let's be clear. The physique helped. Yes, absolutely. He was an outgoing extrovert who was stylish and had drugs in a party scene. So let's set the physique aside. If you're going to raves in a party scene around party chicks, and you are an outgoing extrovert who shows up with cocaine and Molly, let me state that again. If you're an outgoing extrovert who shows up with party drugs at raves and party scenes, you're going to be drowning in pussy. You don't even need to be good looking at that point, let alone have a great physique. An outgoing extrovert who shows up with party drugs in the party scene is going to be drowning in pussy. They're going to get every STD known to man. That dude's going to need so many antibiotics from the 37 STDs that he caught. Dude's going to be living on courses of antibiotics, but he's going to be drowning in pussy. Mike's over in here. How to message you? I mean, he's going to catch a lot of diseases. Don't get me wrong, because he's nasty chicks. That's what they missed with the Ziz thing. He was in the party scene, and he and his bros showed up with drugs and were outgoing around party girls. This isn't difficult to figure out, guys. The reality, how many dudes out there who are fitness models with great physiques don't even have an attractive girl? All these dudes are obsessed with this. They're obsessed with this. And it's just not true. Basic facts. And I'm not being mean, but there's people that I'm friends with and on my friends list and other stuff who have objectively, by these standards, ridiculous physiques. I'm talking dudes with fitness modeling contracts and stuff. They're getting paid for some of it. and their wife or their girlfriend or fiance is like a 4. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying but the dudes have this idea in their head that if they go get this physique, they're going to attract tons of hot women. That they're just going to be all over them. And I'm like, dude's he's got a 4, a 3. But I've known a dude like that. I'm not going to call him out by name, say who he is, but his girl is kind of like shuddered. Like, I'm like, bro, she ugly. And I'm not trying to be mean. It was just my knee-jerk reaction. I was like, oh shit, But I know a guy like that. Phenomenal physique. Now she's a nice girl, and that's the love of his life. But she's a butterface. Like, you don't have something to show me, but you're allowed to keep messaging here. If you can't figure out how to send a private message on Facebook, man, I don't know what to tell you. But back over to this other stuff. People say that distilled water will strip minerals from the body. Not necessarily, but it's the distilled water has no minerals. So all water strips minerals from your body. That's what water does. Distilled water is water. Do you understand that, Jacob? I know you're calling it distilled water, but chemically distilled water is water. The water you get from the sink isn't just water. There's other stuff in it. Make sense? Distilled water is pure water. It is only water. Yes, I add potassium citrate to my drinking water all the time. I drink tap water, and I add electrolytes to it generally, yeah, for hydration. But no, you generally shouldn't be drinking distilled water because you do need minerals, right? Pure H2O is why it's used in cars when you can't get antifreeze. It's still a problem. So keep in mind too, there's a lot of nuance with that with the car engine, by the way. Aluminum engines are more common these days. But even pure water, even distilled water in your engine in place of antifreeze, if you have a cast iron engine, is going to be a problem. Just an FYI. You are going to rust your engine all the way. You're going to destroy your engine. Given enough time, right? We don't know how many weeks or months, but it will happen, right? So a cast iron engine, even with distilled water, is going to be a problem. You are going to rust holes through the engine, and it will be catastrophic. Like, it will cause catastrophic failure. Yeah, antifreeze is also anti-rust. Water itself, even the distilled water, will still cause oxidization of iron. Fun fact. Fun factoid. Yep. But now I definitely put my potassium citrate in. Yeah, Jacob said also antifreeze has additive package that keeps the rubber seals in place, like the water pump housing, soft and pliable. So pure water, yeah, there's definitely problems with pure water in your cooling systems. Like antifreeze is very specifically engineered to do certain things, and it's multiple things. Yeah, so it works in emergencies, but you can't leave it in there. You got to get it out and flush it. I mean, you can piss in a radiator in an emergency. You know, fun fact. I think we've all been there before, haven't we? It's a lot more than just lowering the freezing point, right? Yep. Yeah, if you're looking for anti-corrosion in general, so antifreeze is generally anti-corrosive to your engine, not to you, by the way. Dudes out there be like, "Hey, man, it was anti-corrosive." Jesus Christ, it will kill you. By the way, don't do it. It is poisonous. Oh my God. How much do you add? I usually just put like 500 milligrams. I don't do a liter, I do gallon jugs. I usually just add one scoop just for a little extra potassium. Get a little bit of potassium. Right? What a weirdo dudes in my Facebook. How do I message you? I have something to show you. I have something for you. I have something to show you. It's like, dude can't even figure out how to send a private message. What a weirdo. What a bot. David said, me and my pals were on a long road trip a while ago. A car ran out of screen wash and screen was filthy. The only liquid we had in the car was beer. We made a descent. Oh my God. Screen wash. Oh Lord. You got to watch that in the US. I mean, technically, you now have an open container driving and alcohol on the vehicle. You'd be laughing, but I mean, you could, worst case, man. I mean, I think most police would be cool about it. So, as someone my brother's a police officer, and I know a lot of cops. Really, how do I put this? Officer discretion is mainly used for people who are complete jackasses to the police. Like, the only reason sometimes they act the way they do is because you give it them the option. Like, it's a case of most officers in that situation, they're going to see the emergency and understand. But it doesn't mean they can't legally arrest you at that point for the open container. It's a question of how did you interact with them? It's going to be a big deciding factor. Hey, the Rusk. How about I don't discuss what actually scares me with you? How about I don't make all that public knowledge? Is that fair? Of course, there are things I'm afraid of. I'm a human being, but it doesn't mean that I need to make all my fears public knowledge to people who hate me. Right? Yeah, you don't give a tactical advantage to strangers. Exactly. You know. You don't want to go, hey, this is my greatest fear in life. And then stalkers hone in on that and put all of their efforts into your greatest fear and their entire obsession into it for 10 years straight. Probably not a good idea. Keep in mind, when I have fanatical level obsessed stalkers, several of them, I probably don't want them to know what my greatest fear is. Of course I have fears. I have several, but I mean, I'm going to tell them to you. I think the one everyone knows about is spiders. Well, everyone knows I have arachnophobia. Bro, I'll draw down on a spider. Like straight up, dude. I see a spider, I smash the hell out of it, including your pet spider. I killed one of my bro's pet tarantulas. I told him not to he uncovered it, and he knows how I feel about spiders, and he thought he could diffuse it. No, it's a pet. It's nice. And I told him, bro, you got to cover the tank. I can't stay in here with that thing. You're going to have to cover it back up. Like, put the blanket back over it. Like, I don't want to be in the room with it. And he opened it and took it out. Needless to say, the dude didn't have a pet spider anymore. And there was some damaged furniture in the living room. I flipped his couch over. There wasn't much left of the tarantula. There was about 200 chunks of it all over the place. And I flipped his couch and coffee table over. So there you go. You come at me with a spider, dude, I'm dumping a whole mag. Like, we ain't even playing at that point. We're going straight to weapons hot, homie. You go busting out a tarantula at me, dude, I'm smoking everybody. All right. So, all right. So there you go, man. Same, David. Yeah, dude, you gonna leave spiders in your house? Something wrong with you. Yeah, I don't think so, man. No. You know they're poisonous, right? I killed the hell out of those spiders when I lived in the UK. Yeah. Arachnophobia, man. Flaming spider flying through the air. Jesus Christ. Good thing he had that nail gun, right? Flying giant spider on fire coming at you. Like that's pretty much peak right there. Bro, just dump the whole bag. You know? Dude. Yeah, David, they're not harmless. They're actually. Did you know that all spiders are venomous? They're still venomous, dude. Just saying. All right. I'm not taking any chances. You know, you can take those personal risks with your own safety, but I'm not doing it. You can do whatever you want in your own house. The argument would be maybe their fangs are not long enough for the poison to inject in a human. But what if you get a mutated one? And the point is they would kill you if they could. And I think that's the important thing to remember. Like spiders would kill you if they could, if they had these. So that's all that's telling me is they don't have the ability to kill you, or they would in that case. It's not that they don't want to. So just be aware of that when you're thinking about a spider. All right. But in any event, yeah, bro's tarantula didn't make it. And in my defense, I did tell him, I'm like, dude, that should be the point, the giveaway. It is probably not funny or a joke at that point. When another dude's like, dude, I need you to cover that thing up. I can't be in the room with it. Put the sheet back over the aquarium. Like, it's not cool. I don't want to be around your spider, bro. And he reached in and got it out. we just orc warriored all over the living room. That was dumb. Like, I don't know what he thought was going to happen at that point. We were in our 20s, so it's like I don't know what he thought was about to happen. Oh yeah, it was at his house. I mean, technically an apartment, but yeah, it was an apartment. Like, I came in and I'll chill in the living room, and we were gonna go somewhere or whatever. A couple of the bros. But he had a thing already that uncovered it, or whatever. It's like, I'm ready. You cover that back up, man. I can't be around your spider. I won't be in the room with it. Well, I don't think I saw that friend in that circle later on. But I think he freaked out. But I think, and he was told by other people, like, yeah, dude, that was dumb. The dude clearly doesn't like spiders, and it wasn't real smart at that point. Like, even other friends are like, yeah, dude, because he was all freaking out about it. And they're like, yeah, that was just dumb. Is adding what? Jacob, I have no idea. What? I don't think so. Bro, I'm probably not the right person to answer stuff. I have no idea. Probably not. I can't imagine lemon juice to drinking water would be a problem. Yeah, bro, I'm not eating a spider either. What's wrong with people? Respect other cultures. Y'all be eating spiders. No. Mm-mm. How about I just don't respect your weird culture? Eating spiders. No. How about just no, we don't respect other cultures? Eat a damn spider. What's wrong with people? Something's wrong with them. Oh, I got to post some memes. I just can't. The same thing when we've got people, they point out in some of my conversations with vegans, well, there's other countries that eat dogs. And I'm like, well, I don't care that there's other countries that eat dogs. I don't care about their sick ass, weird ass, messed up culture. It tells me everything I need to know about that country if they eat dogs. It tells me everything I need to know. You're not making a good case here. Just throwing that out there. Eating pets. All right. Agree, right? A dog likes to eat spiders and then six them back up. Dude, dogs will totally do that. Count the twos before. Food for Lewis from UK ate a live tarantula. Yeah, we don't need all that. Yeah, I've seen a dog that eats spiders too. See, but all right, but here's the thing, David. The dog is eating the spider because it knows that spider's a threat. Like, that's a good. So it sounds like you have a really good dog. That's what it sounds like to me. That dog is protecting you from that spider. Like, 100% good boy right there. Like, he knows, dude. He's actually doing you a favor. He's looking out for you. So don't get upset at the dog. That's actually a good boy, man. He's eating a threat. Just saying. Should probably reward him for it. All right. That's right. Are there any other minerals to consider for optimal hydration? No, probably not. I mean, calcium and stuff, but again, most of us are getting all these. And a lot of that's sweat bait. If you're not out here sweating, you probably don't need to add a lot of those. Keep in mind, a lot of that when I'm adding the potassium, keep in mind I'm outside training in an extremely hot climate. So for example, it's almost December. My air conditioner is on right now. I haven't even turned on the heater. Notice there's no ice outside. Context, Jacob. Why do you think I focus so much on hydration? You've seen how much I sweat when I train or I run or whatever. Like sometimes after those long walks, I would weigh myself and I would lose like 6 kilograms. Like for the really long morning walks in the heat when I used to do the long walks on the streams, sometimes there's 5-6 kilos difference in my body weight before and after. Like the morning versus going and taking that walk. Yeah. Well, they don't grasp. I think people over there don't understand that the climate here. So like when I lived in the UK, I can say the UK is a cold country. It doesn't ever get hot. In the entire 3 years I lived in the UK, I can honestly say that there was not a single day where it ever got hot, even once. Not a single time in 3 years did it ever get hot. No, I don't miss the UK at all. Nope. I like some of the British people, but I don't like the UK, man. There's people there I miss. I met some really good people. But in terms of the laws, the quality of living and so on, no, I really don't. And I think that's a fair statement. I don't necessarily like the politics. I don't like certain aspects, the standard of living. But in terms of people, I met a lot of really good people. Right? How'd you like the gyms there? They're just gyms, man. There were good and bad gyms, just like everything else will do. My passport hasn't been renewed though. I don't see myself hopping back over there, to be fair. But like, I don't have an active passport right now. My passport's expired. I haven't bothered because I don't really intend to travel again. Just not on my to-do list, No, some of the gyms were good. I don't know. Jamie and I are not on speaking terms, Steve. So I have no idea, man. You'd have to go ask Jamie yourself. To my knowledge, we are not currently on speaking terms. The fact that I choose to own firearms is a problem. Yeah. Sorry, let me rephrase that. The fact that I own a gun is a problem. So I'll leave it at that. So, Steve, you will have to go ask him yourself. Yeah, that was Jamie. And I'm not hating on the guy. I'm just leaving it there. We have a conflict of personal values. I can still respect his lifting. I can respect the other stuff. As an athlete and information he's put out. Yep, he's definitely an intense guy. I mean, Steve, I don't want to go into it. Can I move on from it and leave it there? Hey, Alpha, that would be none of your business. Well, you know how you know I've never given a warning shot? Where am I right now? Am I in prison? Okay, am I in prison? Therefore, there's the answer to your question. Warning shots are illegal. You go to prison for that. Well, not necessarily prison, but it's illegal. Like you'll lose your gun rights the rest of your life. You may do jail time. You'll be legally liable for whatever happens to the bullet. I'm 100% sure. I am sure beyond a shadow of a doubt that the exact law says that it is a criminal offense to fire a warning shot. I am positive beyond any shadow of a doubt. Anyone asking this type of questions is like that. Yes, I am sure beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is a crime to fire a warning shot. Yeah. Right. Great first barbell to buy when building a home gym. I like the Texas part. Any good power bar. Any good power bar. I see Connor's here moderating in the background. Is he? Cool. But yeah. Also think that through in terms of other stuff, Alpha. So let's set aside the legalities. Cool. Someone else handled the message. So think of that in terms of basic firearm safety. What are the 4 rules of firearm safety? What are your 4 cardinal rules? Every child knows this. You're taught this as a child. Is the Titan power barbell? I have no idea. I've never touched one. Why not get a higher end company for your main barbell? It's worth the extra $50. I mean, if you're going to invest money in your first barbell as a main barbell, why not put a little bit of money in it? I mean, it's going to be your main workhorse. So why not pay 10, 20% more for a really, really, really good bar? You know, that's kind of one of those you don't want to skimp on. It's absolutely worth it. Be my advice. So Alpha, what do you mean as a warning shot? Are you firing at the ground? What if you hit concrete? You firing in the air, you're legally responsible. You do know you can go to prison for that. You fire a shot into the air and it hits somebody, you're going to prison. Just be very, very clear on that when it comes back down. You are going to prison over that. All right. Some guys, it seems, have trouble parting with the money on their barbell. I mean, you can skimp on plates. Like, do you want cheap plates, man? Buy the cheapest iron plates you can find. I would redo that again. Man, honestly, I wish I wouldn't have wasted money on all those calibrated plates. It causes me problems. The number of people who come through, that's not really 315, it's too thin there because they're not zooming in. I threw all that money away just to be accused of the weights being wrong and fake plates anyways. It was a complete waste of my money. I wasted large sums of money for nothing. I'd just go back. If I could redo it, dude, I'd go buy cheap York iron plates all the way across the board. But good barbells. Good barbells the way to go. Like in retrospect, it was a waste of money for me to buy calibrated plates, steel plates. But in terms of barbells, no, dude, definitely don't skimp on barbells. Be my advice. And even just for filming purposes, I wish all those calibrated plates and training plates I had just bought normal standard York style old school plates. I wish that I would have done that instead in retrospect. Right. Although it could create problems in competition on the deadlift. I mean, no, they look good. I mean, I'm not getting rid of them. No, I'm saying if I could go back and change it, if I could go back and change it, I would have just gone with the straight old school. Good first half rack, anything by Rogue. Rogue, definitely. But plates, though, man, you can skip on plates. It's fine. I'm not saying they don't look good. They look good. The problem is, one, the thinness throws people off looking in. Number two, it didn't resolve the accusations of fake weights. I have tons of people who've made videos that got large numbers of views accusing me of fake plates still. And like it didn't resolve it. Like when I bought that, my idea was if I buy calibrated Rogue plates, nobody can accuse me of fake weights. It will resolve all accusations. It will be impossible. That's how I justified the cost in my head. That nobody on the internet would be able to accuse me of fake plates if I buy these calibrated Rogue plates that they certify and have weighed each one and calibrated it before they ship it out. I really thought, no, I'm serious. This shirt is about 10 years old. So I brought in all these. Someone had said I bought a whole collection of these shirts in like 8 colors, this identical shirt, and I brought them all in on hangers the other day. People asked that. I do like my Rogue training. I have those Rogue training plates, and don't get me wrong, they're great. But I've got a deadlift platform now, so it really wouldn't matter. Like I have an actual deadlift platform with the rubber's like this thick on the platform. It's crazy thick. Like I could get away with iron just fine. That'd be perfectly fine. I don't need bumpers at all with that platform. So I'm saying the trolls are giving you set records. I know, right? Well, let's just disregard that fact. But the fact is, when I bought the calibrated plates, I really and truly believed, oh, nobody, if I just buy these, nobody can accuse me of fake plates. This is a solution. Man, I dropped the money right there. Just like, bam, let's do it. Boy. Seth Crawfish, yes, and I bet you don't mind having rogue plates. Everyone does. Your lifts are real true. Still, it's the accusation. You did it for YouTube purposes, and I think it's paid off. I mean, yeah, I mean, good point. Well, that shows your lifts are impressive. Yeah, people don't want to accept that they're that strong, right? True. But To be fair, though, I like the old school plates. Yeah, true. They've seen me do it at random gyms, like straight up. Just walk in there, load it up, and film it. Work sets with like 515, you know. Yeah, true. Done that at multiple gyms over the years. Multiple gyms. Um, I did one that I didn't put up. So I pulled 585 in a gym and did not upload the footage. And I don't want to go into why. It was last year, but you know. Peppermint in the chat. How much more were those plates versus cheap irons? I don't know. Let's look it up, Alpha. I don't remember today, but let's check. That's a good question. What do they currently cost for the 45s? So a pair of 45s, those blues right now, before shipping, my Road charges shipping on everything, by the way. Right now, they're $310 for 2 plates. So they're before shipping, $155 per plate. So let's see what Road charges for just normal, the cheapest iron plates, straight up standards. $174 per pair. You can get them cheaper than that in other places. So what is that? $87 a plate versus $155. So here's the problem with the per pair. When you realize how many I own, it's like, oh, now it makes sense. So 310. So, sorry. Before shipping, I paid an extra $137 if the current prices per pair. That's over $1,000. I have 7 pairs. So as you say, $135, but and they charge for shipping still, mind you, $135. The shipping would have been the same. Times 7. Why can I not use a calculator today? I'm sorry, it's only like $950. Still about $1,000, man. I dumped $1,000 extra for those plates. But I love the old OG plates, man. The calibrated steel is cool. It's got a cool look, the blue. Dude, I love old school York style plates. It's a nostalgia thing for me. Because all my early days training, that's all we had. That's what we used. Dude, my first 2 years in a gym, I don't think I ever touched a rubberized plate, at least the first year. I never even touched a rubber coated plate or anything else. Iron, like tons of them had York barbell on them and standard, like those. That is what I trained with, right? Like I remember actual York plates, right? My gym was just filled with them. My first gym had over 100 of them, had over 100 of those plates in it. So to me, that's a plate, man. Like the inch dumbbells, isn't it? Right? Yeah, calibrate's way more expensive for sure, but I think even Sam Sulek using a yellow 35 rogue plate on his heels when he reps 5 plates on his back, so it pays off to have some nice smoother plates. Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. I mean, from a marketing, it's good, but man, I do like the old school plates. You know, like if I wasn't filming and it was just me restarting and building a home gym just for fun at home, if I had plenty of money, dude, I'd just go with the old school. Right? I just fill my whole gym with them. But it's a nostalgia thing. I also like 1911s, you know, and handguns. Right? Oh man. All right. I'm gonna get some coffee. Oops, forgot my coffee. All right, we're back. All right. That Joshua Baker was complaining about commercial gym barbells, saying old people don't get it. They don't lift much, right? Even I noticed that they're with lightweight and how bad some barbells are, right? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I have a client in 3 hours. A client in 3 hours. No, it's not power worthy, man. Left it in the kitchen now. Pretty much the end of that pot. I'm gonna have to brew another pot if I want more coffee. But I got clients who need sheets today too. David is quick on the draw. Quick draw McGraw. Facts. I might turn the Facebook off. It doesn't have to run as long. Plus, certain topics can get me trouble. There's nobody viewing now. I got comments though. There were quite a few early. Let me drop my own comment there too. Although guys, guess what? I'm going to start one on my profile. I just realized, man. I can end that one and still have a few minutes alive on the other guys. That might be good for the algorithm. Is it going to give me the option? Live video. Yes, it will. Let's do that. What? Well, I want to do another double dip there, but it's not giving me camera access. I don't know why. Oh, that's why. Hold on. I got to completely unload that screen from the other. Let's try that one more time. Full reload of it. It's just simply not going to let me do it. Because I guess because I ran it in the other one this morning, it's just not going to happen. So much for that. Well, so back to Jason, the Rogue Yellow plate is 35. Maybe. Is it a kilo plate or is it a pound plate? Yellows are generally representative of 15 kilo plates. However, in the US, because we use pound stuff, a lot of the colorized pound plates, it's going to be a 35. But generally, in terms of color coding for international plates in general, with kilograms, greens are 10, yellows are 15, blues are 20, and reds are 25 kilos. What's a good pre-workout meal for gains? I don't know. I train fasted. Dude, I haven't eaten breakfast before lifting in years. I don't eat before I work out. So I don't know. It's going to depend completely on your personal preference. So if I have clients who are struggling with that, who want to eat fed, we have to discuss that. Like if they're trying to optimize it, it's going to depend upon a lot of individual factors with digestion. So there is no correct answer. I don't think a pre-workout meal is required at all for gains. I've only ever known yellows is 15 kilograms. Yeah, but you're in a country that doesn't use primarily pound plates. Keep in mind, most of my audience is American. So pounds are still the norm here. Thus, it creates confusion. And this is the land of confusion. Sorry. The disturbed version got stuck in my head. Yep. Been a little slow in here this morning. Yeah, David, that's been your experience because of the country you're in specifically. But because the Americans are going to ask, it's a problem because he's asking us at 35. Well, yeah. Got to dip out. Catch you later. Have a good day. Take care, David. Take care, bro. Although I might dip out of here soon myself. This is just kind of slow. Kind of slow at this point. I'd be more efficient with my other work. So it's always the thing, man, with the coffee chats. It's like if they're getting some supers, it's a little more, but at a certain point, it just doesn't get more views past so many hours. So I'm way more efficient with my Facebook posting if I'm not in here. I do good posts, but it's like I'm not as creative. Sometimes I'm sitting down and just hammering through stuff and making memes. Just staying busy. It's all good, man. No, I mean, we've had a lot of chats in here. I may go ahead and wind it down though, because I do need to keep some voice because I'm going to do an afternoon. I have a client call. I've got tentatively 2 hours of calls on the agenda today, in addition to, all this stuff. And so I've got to talk with clients and stuff for an hour straight at a time. So I'm probably going to go ahead and hop out of here then. And, no supers, but it's all good. I got that extra bonus this morning off Facebook. So it's still all good. And I may have a paid consultation this afternoon. So it all balances out in the wash, guys. But I'm going to roll out of here. It's been a fun little coffee chat. And I'll catch you guys this afternoon.